Yo, yo, yo. What's up? Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Jump
Let's get ready to rumble!
Podcast. That's right. You know, I was trying to go on TikTok, but TikTok, you put me in prison. But it's okay. I'm out of prison, So we're going to be airing this all over the platforms. You could find us. Let me see where you could find us. You could find us on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. That's right. And I'm bringing in my man, my homie, my L captain. It is Mike Drop. What up, Mike Drop? What's going on with you, bro?
What's going on with you, man? Hey, life is good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to have you on the show, man. I've been trying to get you on the show almost forever and ever. Hey, I do my best work at night. What are you kidding me? It's quiet.
Need to wake up early in the morning. That's what you need to do.
Man, I can't wake up no early in the morning, man. Yeah. I can't do that. But I can do late at night. Oh, yeah, baby. So, Mike Drop. We're going to play a clip, all right? We're going to play a clip here.
What clip?
So, give me a second. We're going to play a clip here.
Yo, what up, Mike Drop? What's going on with you?
This man.
Jump. What's good, man? How you doing today?
Oh, boy. Here we go again. What now, Mike Drop?
Don't do that. Listen. First off, what you meant to say was, hey, Mike Drop, how are you? Hopefully that you're blessed and highly favored today.
Okay. Hey, Mike Drop, how you doing? I hope you used the bathroom today.
I'm not going to accept the negativity today because, listen, I got a for real problem, man, and I'm not going to make it today.
Wait a minute. We on air in like 5 minutes. Why would you call me now?
Oh, no. Again, you got to take away that negativity, man. All right. So let me tell you what happened. All right. So I know I'm supposed to be down to work, right? But listen, I just got this new fishing pole the other day, right? And so I had to use it, right? I had to go out, When I tell you that a fish ate my car keys.
Wait a minute. Let me get this story right. So you were coming to work. You decided to buy a fishing pole. And you went fishing instead of coming to work.
Yeah.
And the fish ate your keys?
Ate my car keys. Like, it's the craziest thing. I can't take my car. I can't go to work today, man. I'm really sorry. Hey, move!
Wait a minute. So a fish ate your car keys, right?
Ate my car keys and it swam away. I tell you what, this fish was huge, man. It was the biggest bass you've ever seen.
Do you know I think you're lying?
Why would I ever lie to you?
Because you
gave me this great opportunity. Why would I go and lie to you?
Because you just honked your horn telling somebody to move out your way.
No. See, you have it wrong. Man. That was on your end. That was on your end of the phone.
But I'm not driving.
That's not important. All right, so listen, hey, but while I've got you on this phone, man, hey, is my check coming in?
The check's already here.
So as you know, Mike Drop, welcome to work. The checks are here, bro.
See, you know what? That's messed up. That's real messed up because you actually broke the law. You didn't tell me that phone call was being recorded, and that's got to be like against like.
Yeah. Still me for everything. Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike Drop. So standing on your 10 toes, don't let go. Now, I had a friend of mine. We're gonna play the clip in a little bit. On my boy Mike, and he actually went through a crazy situation. And the situation was he had a tumor in his head, and for 11 years he didn't know that he had the tumor.
So
And
years.
11 years he had a tumor, and it was growing really, really slow. And at one point, as everybody's going to hear the interview, he actually was giving up. He was like, I can't beat this. The odds, the doctors are telling me the odds are against me, and I'm just gonna let things be the way God wanted and intended. And he saw his son, and his son is like, he's a young man, and that gave him the will to survive. He says, "No, I'm gonna beat this, and I'm gonna beat this, and I'm gonna recover." What do you think? I know you experienced something like this. How does how do you, as a parent, as a person, how do you deal with something like that, knowing that somebody's really sick and there's nothing you can do?
Honestly, the truth of the matter is that you pray and you continue to hold on to hope. And so just what you're talking about. So my daughter, about a year and some change ago, ended up having like they call it an AVM, and it's like basically a blood vessel that was weak and burst in her brain, and she ended up passing from it. And hope is really the only thing that you can hold on to. And I tell you what, I can feel where this guy's situation is, because you go through like every emotion. You are pleading with God. You're angry because he hasn't made things happen yet. You get frustrated. You start lashing out at other people. So, I mean, it was a really difficult situation. But at the end of the day, God is good. And you have to rely on what he has you going through.
Do you still have the memories of the day that you took it to the hospital? I imagine
Like
it
it
was
was yesterday.
like it was yesterday. I feel you. I have never experienced something like that, and I just can imagine, bro. One day you're fine, and then the next moment your life changes, and it
Yeah.
changes it forever and ever.
But
You
listen,
know,
the one thing that I've learned through all of this, though, is you can't take anything for granted. Like all of the things, like um, I was running around town trying to find a new broom, right, that night. And that broom sat in my car for 2 weeks, you know? Like it wasn't important. You know what I mean? Like we stress so many things that we think are important. And at the end of the day, matters what? The people that are in front of you, your family, your closest ones, that's what's important. So, you know, it really is like a wake up call of just doing better with your life.
yeah. That's why you have to cherish every moment.
Every single moment.
You can't spend your time arguing, fighting, because you never know when God calls you. You know, that's why
And
my wife always says, "Give me a kiss before you leave, or give me a hug," because you just never know. You know.
and so actually, I don't think I even told you this previously. Um, there was a situation It was probably about a month, maybe 2 months ago at my school that I teach at, where there was a girl in the middle of class collapsed, and they revived her. She was breathing. She got into the ambulance, and she ended up passing at the hospital. This girl's a senior, going on to live her life, and same type of thing, like the family's lives, her classmates' lives, like everybody's lives around her are changed. And again, it puts things in perspective, like what's truly important. Now, with that whole thing being said, you cannot sit there and be like, yeah, paying this bill isn't important. Spending time with my family is, because you got to pay your bills. You got to, like, while it's awesome to be able to live life like there is no tomorrow, you still have to plan for tomorrow, because that will have you living recklessly and, not being able to provide in the future. So that's it. That's my 2 cents.
No, you got a point there. You just, it doesn't matter what age you at. People always saying, you should check yourself out. You should go to the hospital and this and that. But you just never know when it's that time.
Right.
And then how does the family deal with it? The grieving. I'm pretty sure you and your wife are still grieving, still holding on to memories. And I just can imagine,
Yeah.
But
with that same thing being said, you actually made a great point of taking care of yourself. I know that I have been on a health mission, lost a pretty decent amount of weight. And really the biggest thing is to be able to be there for my family tomorrow. The way that I was living, when you met me, the way that I was living, I probably wasn't going to make it for another 10 years. You know what I mean? Sad to say. As much as I like to sit there and be like, oh yeah, we'll live forever and everything. Like, you got to take care of yourself. Now, with those two situations that I'm talking about, that really had nothing to do with it. It wasn't something that could have been prevented. But it is something to keep in mind, of just take care of yourself, like, even like cutting out a lot of the substances that you don't need, junk food, not saying that you can't live or anything like that, but just, we're not invincible.
we're not. And diabetes is dangerous,
Sure as heck
especially
is.
for us that, living in a fast life, working and you don't have time to cook a healthy meal. That's very dangerous. All this Mickey D's and all this Burger King, yeah, it's fast. Yeah, you can eat it, but in the long run, it could catch up to you. It could catch up to you. So that's why it's so important to get yourself checked out at all times and watch you're consuming. You got to watch it. You can't drink too much soda. Soda is bad for you. You know what I mean? And
Hey, and at your age, you got to start doing some extra tests because you old.
yeah. Like I said, we're gonna play the clip in a little bit, and he's gonna tell his story. And it was sad. He had no hope himself until he found some kind of encouragement. Like you said, you worked out. You want to be there with your family. You want to be there for your family, because if you pass away, who's going to really take care of your family?
Exactly.
Definitely not the government. You know what I'm saying? So let's try to hear a little bit of the clip if my producer is ready. Talk to me. We're gonna as she's working on that. Here we go.
So yeah, I'm on the phone with one of my best friends that I know for a long, long, long time, and he's got an incredible testimony of a will to survive. I want to welcome to the stage Mike. I'm not gonna say his last name unless he wants to say his last name, but I know him as Cocabanga. Is it Cocabanga?
The banger, yes.
You know, after 30 something years, I still can't say that name. But I get close every time I say it.
Oh man.
So, what's up, Mike? How's everything with you, brother?
Life is great. God is great.
You
Can't
got
ask for anything more.
okay, exactly. That should be with everybody, you know.
Yes.
You got an amazing story, man. You know, so I want to get down to the interview right now. So, you know, people get these tumors in their heads and walk around and don't know they have it till it's too late. Now, you experienced something like this, am I right?
That's correct.
How many years you can say that you had this tumor growing in you and you didn't know that it was growing in you?
Well, from what the doctor is telling me, he predicted anywhere between 9 and 11 years.
So it was these 9, 11 years, it was all normal to you.
It was normal. Any symptoms that I had, since it was a slow growing tumor, any symptoms that I had, I adjusted my life around it because it was just so. So it wasn't something that I noticed. That was the that was the scary part.
So when did you notice something was wrong? Like really wrong that make you go to the hospital? Or you never went to the hospital, that's how slow it was.
Well, the first thing was, which of course I didn't think about at that time, woke up one day where I felt like somebody put a pillow on my left ear. A lot of my hearing just went. Went to the doctor, they took a hearing test. Uh, didn't really give me reason why, but they just said, sometimes it happens to people where they just lose hearing. But since I have another ear that works, keep it moving. And that's what I did. And time went on, just balance was very off, but didn't think of anything. Just thought that that was just who I was. Somebody that not really clumsy, but it was just will tip over sometimes and stuff. But it really just started when I was getting these headaches and they would not go away.
So you thought it was probably old age, because when you get
I,
old age, your body starts hurting more. You're not as active as more, because you were
yes.
very active when you were younger. Very active. You
Oh,
played baseball, you played
yeah,
manhunt,
yeah.
football. Whatever happened in the street, you were playing it. So you was in good shape, you know,
Non-stop running around. Yep, non-stop.
nonstop, all day long, every day, all day,
All
every
day,
day
every day.
till
Yep.
whenever. Now, tell me when you went to the hospital and they did the test on you, when they were running the test on you.
Right.
Number one, it was scary. I know it must have been scary, just waking up and, like you said, it was something you felt like they put a pillow on you. Now, describe once you're in the hospital that they running the test on you.
Well, the test they did was a scan, MRI scan of my head. They didn't know really what was going on with me, so that's when the testing started, and that's when they saw in the image that I had a large tumor up against my brainstem. That already it grew. Why I lost my hearing, because it grew in my left ear canal. That's why it was the first thing. Since it was growing bigger, it started damaging everything on my left side. So my left hearing is gone. And I'm noticing that my left eye, I was having problems seeing. And that was the next thing was going to go if I didn't catch the tumor in time.
And your thoughts when they were telling you this, that you had a tumor,
Uh,
the thought.
the first thought that came down, I'm going to die. Like you don't hear anything good about tumors. So, once you told me I have a tumor, I'm like, oh, I'm dead.
And at a young age, because you're still young, you're still young. And then what happened once you found out that this tumor was affecting, your eyesight, your hearing? What did they do next for you? Or what was
Well,
the next step of you doing?
life now for me was going 100 miles an hour because it was that serious. I needed to take it out as fast as possible. Um, it was just testing after testing, blood work, questions. If I drank, if I smoked, how much I did. Oh,
Mm.
it was very intense, very intense, very intense.
And you were anxious. I mean, I can imagine your emotions going
It
up
was
and
great. It
down.
was wild. It was my emotions was wild. Was every emotion that you can think of, except for being happy. You know, just scared. Wondering what's gonna happen to your family if you're not around. It was just like forget about it. It was just really hard to think straight. It was couldn't sleep at night because you're constantly thinking, "Then here comes another day past that's closer to surgery date." It was a mess. It
And
was a
while
mess.
and while all this is going on, you still feeling the effects, right? I mean, it's getting worse, right? It's sure not
It's
getting
getting
better.
worse. Yeah, it's getting worse. Like,
Why?
my left eye again, I really couldn't see too well. It was getting blurry here and there. Again, the headaches, which that meant that the tumor was about to explode. So yeah,
And so you got your appointment. All right, let's go into the surgery. Let's skip all that because I think every
So mic drop. What do you think about the audio so far? It was
You know,
crazy that
when
he
when he
just woke
talked
up with
about
it.
just like all the emotions and all that, like man, like no, I feel that, but like let me tell you, man, like first off, like, and this is not somebody that I know, but like, brother, you are a blessing, sir. To be able to make it through something like this, to be able to speak on it, because man, like there's a lot of people that they had no clue that this was happening to them, and that was it.
And I
So
tell you, having a tumor, the way it was growing in him, it was growing so slow. I know people that, have a tumor and it grows rapidly, So he was very lucky that he, saw something was wrong with him and he went to check it out. It's crazy. It's crazy. Love, go ahead and play the rest of the video, please.
body knows now what you're going through. With the headaches, with the eyesight losing, your hearing going. You know, so walk me through the surgery, the day that you're going into surgery.
oh, that might have been the worst day out of all the days prior. Because now I call it doomsday. Here comes doomsday. My luck wasn't really too well throughout my life, so you know, just thinking that yeah, this is the last day for me. We're gonna try this last thing and see if it really works. After hearing that if the first thing, if you survive the surgery, then you have a high percentage of being paralyzed because all the hairlines that grew around the tumor for so many years, the doctors can make mistakes, and cut one of them off, and either I'm dead or paralyzed. Uh, but I'm here to tell you that I'm very lucky, and I did overcome dying. I did overcome and being paralyzed, and God is great.
And then tell me, how was the recovery after the first surgery? Because you went to multiple surgeries afterwards, right? The
Yeah,
reconstruction of the
yeah.
eye, um, the therapy of walk. walking and talking again, as you told me, because you had to go
Yes.
through all of that all over again, right?
Yeah. I was told that if I did survive the surgery and if didn't become paralyzed, that I had to learn how to walk and talk again, and I didn't understand that. But I could tell you that I was reborn. It's like being born as a baby, and your parents are teaching you how to speak and how to walk, and stuff
Mm.
like that. I had to be taken care of like a little infant. I couldn't.
It's crazy that he had to start all over again, learning how to walk, learning how to talk, learning how to just deal with everyday life that we're so used to. You know, we grow up and we used to going to the bathroom. We're used to going to work. We're used to, you know, just doing our everyday things. Just imagine that all of that stops. Mentally, you messed up, and physically, it's bobbling because I just can't imagine, Mike. How about you? Can you imagine that?
No. And actually, the comment right there of just like 100%, I agree with that. That, you know, God had plans, like when God still has plans for you, still has something that he needs you to do, then he's going to keep you around, you know? It has a way of working its way out. So yeah, just
Definitely.
really, really like just blessed.
And even though the devil tries and tries and tries, and God says, "Nope, not today." Devil, you out the door. I'm gonna give him something to motivate himself, and I'm here with him. Let's play more of the clip, and then we
Made
get
on my
into the
own.
comments.
My wife had to bathe me. I had a something that called a pick line that was connected to an IV bag that was pumping special medicine in me. I had to learn how to take that off of me, clean the lines, jump in the shower, come back, hook myself back up, and I had to deal with this for 6 weeks because I caught a staph infection, which was meningitis, that could have took me out also. So yeah, uh, it was rough. It was really rough.
Wow, man! And this was like it, I want to explain to everybody that this actually really happened overnight, right? I mean, it wasn't like 1 year they said, "Hey, you got a tumor. Well, we're gonna wait a little bit." This all happened overnight for you.
Yeah, it's pretty much overnight. One day I'm good, and the next day you get this news that, if you don't get this thing out, you're gonna die. And they surprised I'm still alive
Hmm.
all
And
this time.
and like I always said, the body is 90% mental and 10% physical. The mind is
Like he said, 10% mental. I mean, 10% body, 90% mental. Do you believe that? Do you believe in that, Mike Drop?
Definitely. There's so much that has been like research of just having the right mindset and just how the mind can do amazing things. And actually, just a testament to that is the fact that it sounds like he was so driven with work and his family and all of that that he had a couple of symptoms that
Yeah.
probably didn't feel right, but
Yeah.
again, just mind was like, we're not going to worry about that, and fought through it.
And fought he did because, wow, I I I I I, I just can't, I know him for a very long time, and to see him going through that, it was like, wow. My friend is little by little going through a change that he can't even explain. You know what I mean?
Right.
And having his family also seeing his change is like, what's going on? What's going on? It's not like I could just go to the bathroom and just shake it off. Physically and mentally, emotionally, he's going through some stuff, you know. Let's go before we go back into the clip. Let's pull up a comment here and let's answer a comment to see if people have any questions so far. Mic drop. Do the honors, mic drop. You see the comment?
I see it. So it said the devil tried to interrupt God's work, but God said, "Nope, sir, not my child."
Exactly.
Exactly.
It says it in the Bible. It says it in the Bible that you are his child and nobody owns you but him.
Yeah.
But him.
For I know the plans I have, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, like 100%.
Right. Go ahead, Mike Drop. What else we got over here?
Sounded like if he was running against time, but God had other plans. God bless him.
Exactly. Yes. God said, hey, I've always been on your side and always gonna be on your side. No matter what you go through, you're gonna see the light at the end of the tunnel, no matter what it is.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into the details of it, but yeah, I had a life-threatening experience myself, and very easily. And actually, between that and just being reckless and things, like God could have ended my time a long time ago, but still has plans for me, and that's why I'm still here today, because work's not done.
Thank God for that, bro. And I experienced a life-threatening thing, and that should have took my life, and he saved it. And that's why I said after I recovered and everything, I'm gonna change my ways. I'm gonna change my ways because I want to make it to heaven. I want God to be proud of me.
Right.
To
be able to say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." 100%.
There you go. So, babe, go ahead and play the rest of the video, and let's hear the other.
Always, if you have a weak mind, you're doomed. But it seemed to me, hearing your story, and I know you personally, you really, really strong-minded. And I think with your faith and everything, and you wanted to not give up, because you could have gave up. You could have gave up. There were signs there to help you give up. You lost.
There was thoughts that came across my mind of giving up, because I didn't know I didn't know what to expect of all this. I just wanted to be over. Like, I didn't want to deal with any recovery or my family knowing that I died or I'm in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. It was just like, you know what, let's just skip all that, then you just die. So yeah, a lot of that came across my mind many times.
What was the turning point for you, Mike? What was the turning point when you said, okay, I got this situation, I got to deal with it, and I'm gonna pull through it because there is no giving up? When was that turning point? What made you look that way?
There was just this one crazy time where you're always looking at your kids and you watch them as they play and stuff. I don't know, there was just some type of eye connection with me and my son, that he was 2 years old, and it just hit me that I gotta try. I gotta try because I can't leave him. I don't want him to know when he grows up that his dad didn't try to stay alive to be around my life. I didn't want that. So I would say, my kids were the one that gave me that courage, that will to try to stay alive.
And what's the effects now? that you over? How many surgeries you went to?
I was supposed to go to two surgeries, but I did one. It was 11 hours of surgery
Wow.
for the brain tumor to be taken out. It's 95% out because he couldn't mess with the other part because there was just too many nerves surrounding it. He didn't want to kill me. He didn't want me to be in a wheelchair. Um, After that, it was the next day after that surgery, my whole left side shut down. So my eye stood open. So they did surgery in my eyelid and put something that's called a gold weight to help close my eye. And I had to put some type of Vaseline lubrication on my eye every time I went to sleep, so my eye won't dry out and I won't go blind. And that was several weeks of doing that. This happened to me. Surgery was October 2012, and I'm still not 100%. Doctor says I don't think I'll ever be 100%. You know, sometimes my left side of the body, it could be like if I'm holding a coffee cup in my left hand, my hand would twitch. It feels like I'm gonna drop the cup of coffee. So I don't hold a cup of coffee on my left hand anymore just for that. My left eye is weak. The nerve didn't come back fully. So my eye doesn't blink the way my right eye does. So, you know, I got to put these special dry eye drops in my eye from time to time to keep it, you know, lubricated. Um, you know, besides that, I'm great. Uh, I don't like to.
Now, there was the turning point, Mike Drop and everybody. The turning point when he saw his 2-year-old son and he thought, what will happen to my son if I'm gone? Who's going to take him to his baseball games? You know, he found motivation there. God let him open his eyes and said, hey, you almost giving up. I got to send you something or do something to get you up and moving the way you're supposed to do. And he saw and he held that and he says, nah, I'm not giving up. I got to be here for my family. No matter what the odds against me, I'm going to be here. And I know everybody in the whole wide world has experienced something in their life that they thought they couldn't handle. And when the going got tough, they didn't get going. They got up and they fought. And it was amazing how he did it. It's amazing how God said, hey, yo, come on. Come on, don't give up. Don't let the devil win because you're not his, you're mine. And you got a lot to do. You got a lot to do in the surgeries and everything. Mike, it was a crazy interview for me to do. It was kind of really, really, really emotional too, because like I said, I know that man for over 35 years. I know him since I was 15 and I'm over 50 right now. So it was years of knowing him and hearing his story. I'm like, wow, yo, you're an inspiration. I got to put your story out here. I got to put your story for those people that think, you know, hey, I'm done. I ain't got no family. I'm just going to end it. No, man, do not end it. Don't even think like that. Just like you, Mike Drop, you know, when you lost your daughter, the world came crushing down on you. Mm-hmm. You felt like, wow, how can I pick up the pieces? How? And you found it in you. Mike found it in him. I found it, and many, many, many others have found it in them and said, I'm going to do it. What do you think about what I just said, Mike? Do you agree with me on Mike Drop on this one?
To a point, I agree with you because I know that at my absolute lowest, that I was not picking myself up, that it was God picking me up. Like, I wish I could say like I did any of this like on my own, you know, like, but absolutely not. So, when things are at their like most bleak, or like you're looking at like, you know, possible loss of life, or anything that's very difficult, you have to sit there and give those worries to God. Like, and you know, one thing that I definitely had to do, and talked about it a little before, of just that anger and frustration of just like, why is this even happening? Give that all to him. You know, like, it is not necessarily a bad thing to be upset. Be like, hey, God, like, hey, what in the world is this? You know, like, there are some times where you're in a situation where it's just like, God, like, are you even there? Because it looks like you forgot all about me, you know? But these things are to build you up, to inspire not only yourself, but for other people as well. And yeah, like, you never know how God is going to use you as a blessing. So it is your obligation to fight through whatever you have going on, and just to allow him to inspire others.
Yeah, it's all a testimony.
Yeah.
It's all a testimony. Let's get into more of the clip. Let's hear the rest of the situation that he had to go through. Play the clip.
Complain of any little things that's wrong with me because I'm able to speak, I'm able to walk, I'm able to run. They said in the beginning I was never able to go back to work again, and I am working. I'm alive,
Thank God.
born again,
Thank God.
second
Wow.
chance of life.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Like I was saying before, it's what happened one day to another, and the effects is forever. But you learned, and you healing, and you doing things that they said you could never do. You're doing it.
I'm
You
doing
know
it.
what I'm
Yes,
saying? You can't work no
yes,
more. Yeah, all right. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna prove you wrong. You know, you're working. Sure, I can't run no more. Yeah, I'm gonna prove you wrong. I'm running, you
yes.
know? So you're inspiration. I admire you, for pulling through, because through all this, I don't know how many people would say, okay, I'm done for, or okay, I'm gonna pull through. I'm gonna go through the obstacles like you did, and I'm gonna live. I'm gonna live through this, and there's no stopping me. So you were saying, like, you still recovering, kind of, sort of. um there is some things you could do, and some things you do still good at. As far as remembering things, do you still remember a lot of things, or all this made you forget a lot of things?
I remember a lot of things before surgery. And after surgery, during recovering, well, after surgery, there was a lot of things that I was told that that I was doing that I didn't realize I was doing. I like I said, after surgery, I don't know if I had a bad dream or I don't know what it was, but it was just like a movie. Like I woke up yelling. They told me I woke up yelling, screaming, crying, and I explained to them that I saw a shadow image because my sister did come from Florida. She was there. My mom came from Florida. So I had all four. I had my wife, my sister, my father, my mother in a shadow image with a glow around them. Just something like you would see in the movie. And I thought I died. I thought I was in heaven. Uh, it was something that I can't forget. It's images, just like it never left. It's just there. I don't know what was that reason for, But yeah, it was just crazy. It was just crazy.
And through the whole surgery thing, you were saying that there was a 50-50 chance. Let's talk about the 50 chance that you would have not made it. How when you went to surgery, how did you look at your family?
You look at you. I looked at them and pretty much said goodbye, because when you given
Wow.
a, a million to one chance of survival, like how are you supposed to, look at your family like, damn, I'm sorry I got this tumor and I'm not going to be around in their lives anymore. Like, and you really don't know what to think or what to say. It's just like, holy crap, this is really happening to me. Like, like it didn't affect me at that time, you know, until after. It's like, wow, this is really happening to me. It's really hard, really hard. I tell you, my emotions was running wild, and there was
I can
nothing good
imagine.
about it. Like, all negativity, just didn't think it was gonna go well for me at all, at all.
And let's go to the positive one. When you did come out of it and knew that it wasn't going to take your life, how did you look at your family?
Well, if we want to talk about after surgery, then we have to talk about the things that happened to me afterwards. Like I caught a staph infection, which is meningitis. I had
Oh wow.
fluid rushing into my brain that could have killed me. So I spent time in the hospital 4 days with a drain from the bottom of my back all the way to my brain, watching this fluid come out of me for 4 days. No eating, no drinking, no using the bathroom. Just 4 days watching this bag just drip out of me. Uh, something was really trying to take me out because it was just one thing after another.
Let's hold the clip. Let's hold the clip.
So, real quick, and actually, a very good friend of mine was going through a lot, as far as family things, financially, relationship wise, like everything kept coming down at the same time. And when you are being attacked like that, like just one thing after another,
Yeah.
like that's got, like, I always compare that to, you played those video games, right? Where like you're walking, and nothing happens. And then all of a sudden, like the music changes because you're on the right path, right? So the devil doesn't waste his time
Mm-mm.
sitting there attacking somebody that is worthless, or maybe not worthless, but it like goes after the strongest, the people that will make the biggest impact. Those are the people
Yes.
that he wants to take in, because if he can take that away, then the blessings that that person is going to give to others is not going to happen. So that's how you know
And
you're doing things right. If you are, it's not going to be an easy life, And when you are being attacked over and over again, like you are special. You have
yes.
something that
Yes.
that God needs you for. So
And he's always like you said, he's always attacking, the good people, the people that could make a change. Those are the ones he wants to stop. Church people, people that believe in God. The stronger your faith, the more he'll try to attack you. And it's amazing how he doesn't stop. Like this man, was going through this brain tumor, and after they got rid of the tumor, here he is still facing other things that could have killed him. The
right.
staph, the infection, and everything else. It was like he was trying really, really, really hard. He wasn't letting go. And that's why, as people, children of God, we have to stay in our faith, no matter what. No matter what. You know, you got to get into those Bibles. You gotta listen to the word of God. You gotta, just listen to him. Don't, overlook it where he comes in your dreams or whatever, and you don't pay attention. You has to pay attention. Yes, God bless you, Mike. Glory to God. He's a inspiration. He's a good man, just like everybody, just like Mike Job, just like everybody that's tuning in. Even me. I mean, I have some.
You
I have
are
a
a
lot
good
of
man. You are.
Mike Job, read the comment over here. What the Tata say over here?
Exactly. Devil will try to hurt God's strongest soldiers, but faith over fear at all times.
All time,
100%.
100,000%. 100,000. I
Right.
can. That's a good comment right there. That's a great comment.
But you know what, though? Actually, I want to go back on something that I said
Yes.
a little bit ago. Is don't ever think of yourself as that you are one of those like worthless people, because those don't actually exist. And that's something that I dealt with for a long time. I dealt with like bad depression, and really just thought like I really wasn't worth much, and that is a lie. And that's one of the easiest ways that the devil can work his way in, is to think that you're not even worth God's blessings. And so understand that no matter where you are in life, even if you are living in the middle of sin, you are worthy and you are great.
Yes. It was like, this reminds me of the Bible, and I was reading the other day the story of David and Goliath. Now, Goliath wasn't David's fight, and we all know that David wasn't just a normal person. He sung to God, he prayed to God, and God loved him. God made him who he is. And here he thought he was just a normal man. No, God had a plan for you. God has always a plan for you. You just have to trust in God and just live his will and be in his grace, and you're going to be okay. And you agree with me, Mike Drop? I see you shaking your head, bro.
More with you, like, and it's funny you bring up that story, because I just went over that again not too long ago. And when they're looking for the next ruler of Israel, they looked into his household. They said that, okay, one of these kids is going to be the next king of Israel. And they went through every one of his brothers. Every single one of them was deemed worthy of the crown. And God was like, no, not you, not you. And the one that he wasn't even in the house, he was out in the field. And God was like, that one, that's who's going to rule. And like one of the greatest rulers of all time, of any nation. So, you never know how great you truly are.
Yeah. That was deep, Mike. That was deep. I felt that one. Let's go into more of the clip. We almost finished here with the clip.
Another one I forgot to mention that they, when I went back to the hospital, was they thought I had blood clots, so they reopened my incision. I don't even know how many stitches I have, but I have a picture of it, but it's something that you really don't want to see or like to see. Like I have a picture of it just for a reminder that you made it through this crazy time where a lot of people did. So why am I that person that made it? That's my question for always. It's like why did God keep me alive and not everybody else that had this tumor?
Even
It's
though there was
crazy.
a lot of, even though there was a lot of things against you, anything could have killed you.
Anything, yeah,
Anything could
anything.
have
Like I
killed
said, I
you.
went scuba
Not,
diving.
not only,
I was in the gym lifting weights that could have burst the tumor. I was very
Yeah.
active.
not only the tumor could have killed you, but the other things could have killed you too. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah, the
saying?
things
So
could have killed me
you
too.
wasn't
Yeah,
out
all
of
the
the
side effects of,
woodworks.
of the
Mhm.
surgery.
The side effects. hmm
Yeah,
And you overcame that. Yo, you.
overcame that.
And how do you see life now that you got a second chance? Do you still, you know, forget what you went through, or
Never could forget. This is now 2012. Um, Here I am speaking to you, my brother that I know for a long time. I still get emotional.
I can imagine, man.
Still get emotional. It's something I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. Everything I went through, the surgery, the scare, leaving your kids behind, and your wife, your parents. It's just so much you went through life, so many things that I haven't done that I wanted to do, and now I'm thinking that I'm not gonna have that chance. So now, with the second chance of life, I'm living it up.
And
I'm
how you
doing
doing
things
that?
that
Because you still look handsome, bro. You still look handsome. No homo. You still look handsome, bro. So, so what is it? Did you are you doing now that you wasn't doing before? Let's lighten up this situation.
you know what? Honestly, nothing really changed because from before the tumor, I was always physically fit, always eating well, and I'm doing the same thing, but a little bit more. Now that I'm older, I'm just taking care of myself a little bit more. I am now going to my doctor twice a year, like everybody should do. You get a checkup twice a year. I don't play around no more. The only bad thing for me, no matter what doctor I go to, it could be a dentist, it could be a regular physical. Any doctor I go to, I'm sweating because I'm
I can
always
imagine.
have in
Thinking
the
about
back of my mind somebody's gonna tell me bad news. And it could be a regular physical, but
right.
it's just now all that happened to me just messes with my brain a little bit.
And how do you see your kids now? Now that you overcame that, do you spend more time with them? Because
Oh my God. From right after surgery, like it actually from when my kids were born, I always been there. And and after surgery, I remember my son, 2 years old, having a Halloween party, and the parents were supposed to come over, and I'm just fresh out of surgery. My left eye was all black and blue, and I had stitches, and I had this IV bag machine pumping this medicine with me. I could barely walk, and I made it to my son's party, and that was the best thing ever. He's now going to be 15 years old. This happened when he was 2 years old, and I'm so humbled that I'm able to see him grow every day so far. And now I'm out there in the field with him, helping him learning how to teach play baseball. He loves basketball. We do things together, like, and I always think it's like, wow, who would he be doing this with if it wasn't for me, if I would have died?
and that's a heartbreaker right there. Just to think of that.
That's the heartbreaker right there. Because
Just to
kids
think
without
that.
fathers, they're going wild out for no reason, thinking, oh, that guy is not here. Let me go rob the bank. Let me go kill somebody. I don't
He's
care.
right.
I'm
Not only
I'm
your
I'm more
son,
humble than ever. More humble than ever.
and not only your son, but your daughter. Who's gonna walk her down the aisle? Who's gonna,
Oh,
take her to the
yeah,
prom?
you keep going. There's a list of things. A list
It's
of
a list
things.
of
Like
things.
I
Yeah.
Yeah, my granddaughter. I have a granddaughter. Like I would never met her.
Let's pause it. Let's pause it.
So it's
Let's
amazing.
pause it.
And you know, like I said, sometimes they'll come over, and I'll be in a corner and just reminisce and just come back like, wow, what about if I wasn't here? Like if like I would have missed all this, you know, everything that all the events, all the family get-togethers and stuff like that. Like I would have missed all this, but I didn't. I'm still here,
Thank
still
God
here.
for that. Thank God for that.
Thank God, amen. Thank you.
Thank God for that.
Appreciate it.
Well, Mike, I'm going to be one to say I thank God He didn't take you. I thank God that He made you strong and just kept you humble because you stayed humble through all this. This was
Thank you,
something
buddy.
for
I
somebody
appreciate it.
also to lose their mind,
Right,
even though you
yeah.
recovered. It can still have an effect in your mind where you don't come back for it.
Yeah, it's affecting me right now, honestly, right now. Just thinking about it now. I'm listening to you, but then I have picture images of everything I went through. You know, so yeah, it's just crazy. It's crazy. If you feel something out of the ordinary of your body, you gotta get checked. Don't wait too long like I did, because I almost didn't make it for that.
Man, you got any shout outs? Want to shout out to anybody?
Yeah, definitely. One of the most important people in my life. That is you, my brother. I shot you out. You've been there since day one, and I appreciate that.
You're welcome, and same here, man. I'm glad you were in my life. I'm glad I met you. We met as a young age when we didn't care about nothing, and slowly God worked on us
Yes,
and took
sure
us to
did.
a path where we know what matters the most today.
What a blessing. What a blessing.
It's a crazy story. It's a crazy story. You know, I just can't believe all the things that my friend that I grew up with went through, and this all just happened. Literally, just waking up, and his whole life changed in front of him. You know, it's amazing. My drop. I want to thank you, my brother, for tuning in tonight and helping me with this podcast. I couldn't thank you enough. Do you have any shout outs or last comments you want to say before you go, bro? The floor is yours.
Um, few things. Few things. First off, thank you. And I know I've blown you off a few times. Life is life, man. You know, um, and things like this, you do need to slow down. And because like for real, you are one of the people that is very important in my life, and what you've done with no experience on this podcast is nothing short of amazing, man. So,
Thank you.
so being able to support you is definitely a blessing. Um, and you've helped me a whole lot in my world. And honestly, um, right when we met, I was in I was in a very committed relationship, and it fell apart so quickly, and you were the one to help pick me up. So um, we have to be able to show love, give the flowers to the people that deserve it. So for you, my brother, thank you for being who you are.
Thank you, Mike Chop. You gonna make me cry on live, bro.
You're
You gonna make me
welcome.
cry on live. And I want to thank you, my brother, because when we first met, we actually bonded really quick. And I said to myself, you know what? This is gonna be a long relationship we're gonna have. And to the day I gone, bro. Say I gone, I'm not gonna leave you. You always gonna be by my side. You my right hand man. And I want to thank you because you know, helped me a lot also. You know what I'm saying? There was times when I was down and I leaned on you. And that's the whole thing about this, my brother and sister's keeper. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You just can't wear it on your back. You got to wear it in your heart. You know what I'm saying? And I want to thank you again, Mike Drop, for coming on. This is going to go viral. I know this is going to go viral.
Hey, but
And
stop recording my phone conversations, man.
you know what? Goodbye,
We gotta
bro.
talk about that.
You know what? Hey, Mike Drop. I always wanted to do something for you or to you. Give me 1 second. Mike Drop, are you ready?
No.
You are time out, bro. See you later. And you know, let's finish the rest of this clip over here. Unique, whenever you ready, let's play the rest of it, y'all. And thank you everybody for tuning in. We're gonna play the rest of this.
Yes.
And that's family, God, and one another. You know,
Yes.
and
Yes.
don't ever lose that faith, man, because your testimony through all this was still believing, regardless of what happened or what was happening at the moment. You still believed that it ain't your time. It ain't your time.
Nope.
You let time know when you're done, and we're not done yet. We're not done yet.
Even when I die, I'm not done. I think
Me
I'm gonna live
neither.
forever.
I'll be right next to you, poking at you. Poking at you, be like, "Hey, Mike, go out and play baseball."
We ain't
Hit
done.
home
I'm
run for me.
52, but I feel like this is the beginning of my life. Let's
That's
get it.
what's up. So that's what's up. And to your family that's watching, what you got to say to them?
Man, I love him. Thank you for being there. Thank you for pushing me to go to the doctor. Thank you for helping me recover. I wouldn't have done it without them.
Wow. Devil's a lie, right? Devil tries. Devil's a lie.
Yeah.
Devil's a lie. Well, thank you,
Yep.
Mike, for this interview.
Of
You
course.
know, the thing is out there that you got to get as you get older, things start to change in your body. It's good to get your
Mm-hmm.
body checked out. It could be teeth. It could be I don't know high blood pressure because diabetes is also one of the most killers in the world, and you can carry it
Yeah.
like a tumor and not know it till it's too late. And you don't want to get it
Exactly.
like that because you don't know what could happen. But thank
Exactly.
God, even though you had it, it wasn't growing so rapid that you couldn't, react to it. God, was there with you
Yep. Of
and pulled you through all that. Well,
Yes.
thank you, Mike, for this interview.
Of course.
It's amazing to know you. I thank God again that He kept you alive and I can speak to you.
That means a lot to me, brother. Thank you.
And let's go Yankees this year, right?
Let's go, Yankees. Yes, sir.
Wow. Standing on your 10 toes, y'all. And don't let go. Don't give up. You know, this was an amazing, amazing night. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for supporting me and my channel. You know, it was a dream of mine when I first started it, you know, and I'm sharing it with everybody. And I want to thank Street Team. I want to thank Miami. I want to thank Mike Drop. I want to give a shout out to my son, Tyler. I want to give a shout out to, again, Mike Drop, Tata. I want to give him Kobe and Kobe Civil. Thank you for tuning in. My man X, I see him up there. Thank you for tuning in, bro. And you owe me an interview. Who else I got up here? I want to thank out to Love, Peace, and Happiness for always supporting me. I want to thank my producer, my wonderful producer who put this all together, my backbone in life. You know, she's my rock. She's always supporting me. Unique, thank you. And thank you to YouTube. Thank you to Facebook. Thank you to TikTok for all the support. TikTok is our new home. And I got to say this, man. You know, I love everybody. I love all my family, all my friends, and all my supporters. Until next time, y'all, remember, put God first. And it's the only way. Love y'all.
No one's safe. No one's safe. No one's safe.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Let's go, champ.